Today, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick, but I'm betting they continues the streak in this game.
Open man here is Scott, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A handoff to Smith. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And this one is right through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first-half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play there for the Raiders.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside. which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Play action. It's Fields. Sliding out of the pocket. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. 5-3 their record at the halfway point, and you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple of things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles. 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
Escapes the defender. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Now the try here for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On second down, Walden, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. While the Traders take a look, we'll step aside. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long. From the gun, they'll try to run it. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a third and long. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss. 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Catch is made by Metcalf. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big play there for the Raiders. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 103 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And that last run good enough to have him surpass for his career, get this folks, 12,000 rushing yards.
And how about this? You're in shouting distance now of the top 10 all-time rushers in NFL history. And in short order now.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after try forthcoming. And it's 21-3. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense taking over again. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Handoff, running left, Smith. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it.
The big man, get the action. oxygen tank ready. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Looking to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Got an open man, it's Scott.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Terry McLaurin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action, Fields. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Here's Fields.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Touchdown, Houston! A great play there as the first half is winding down.
And the Texans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to 18.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He sets to fire deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon. Thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the home side who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Justin Herbert with 2 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Mac Jones, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. The Bears seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. And that'll increase their lead to 28. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Second down and 8. Again, it's Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And it's taken in at the 9. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board, right?
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. He'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Texans send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That's taken it around the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Manning.
And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the silver and black continue to roll. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. And the Raiders have got him. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Really solid effort for him right now. 3rd quarter, already 4 touchdown passes. How many can he get here?
That remains to be seen, but I know one thing. You and I will be here to watch, and I'm not going anywhere. With what he's doing in this contest, I'm not missing a minute of it. This guy's been spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game, but sometimes these individual performances are fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes they just kind of come to the front, despite the fact, as you said, we know it's all about the team. But the way he's playing, he's trying to make his team win on his back.
Yeah, it's been exciting. Back now in Houston. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, 207 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll start by running the option to the right. He'll pitch it. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Back to throw. Fields.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him now.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right?
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now the try here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistent.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. And he'll give it here to his running back. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line.
It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone.
And now out comes Houston. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. They'll set up to throw.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 36. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Houston set to take over.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, be honest, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he will find Scott on the right side, complete. And he's brought down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Las Vegas, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye.